Hello, US history, and happy Tuesday. I hope you guys are having a good day. I hope you're being well. I hope you're staying safe. And I hope you're having conversations that you need having. Okay? I'm going to jump straight in the video today to give you the most time to do whatever it is you need to do today. Today, we're going to go back to reform movements of the Gilded Age, back to some actual curriculum. Because we spent the last 2 days in class not really worrying about curriculum at all, which I am totally happy with. Okay. And before we start, I just want to make a quick announcement. My video here is going to be academically focused. What I have on the schedule for today is academically focused. So if you want to do school stuff today, then we're going to do it. You've got a space to do it. But if you need a time or a place to talk about things that are going on, this is the place to do that as well. Okay? So before we get started, you have the opportunity to just make today your own. If you want to have conversations, if you want to ask Teacher Maypo questions, whatever it is you need to do. Okay? Whatever it is you need to do, you can do it. But I will provide academic things for you if you'd like to do that as well. So our daily objective is I can compare and contrast newspaper accounts of the Haymarket riot and the Pullman strike in order to identify media bias. Okay. For our warm-up, we're going to ask the question, what is media? So both on Edmodo and in the email that I sent you is the document for today. Okay? It is called Labor Unions and Media Bias. So I want you to please pull up this activity and complete the warm-up. When you are done, you can go ahead and share your answers with each other, okay, to make sure you all have the right answers. Go ahead and do that right now. Pause the video and go complete the warm-up. Welcome back, guys. So, to answer our question, what is media? In many different ways, you could have said that media is the communication tools used to share and store information. Okay? This is most commonly, historically, newspapers or television. Now, media also happens in online articles and videos. But media sources can have bias, okay? All sorts of media sources today have bias. There are media sources today in Myanmar that have bias. And bias is when your experiences or background shades your perspective on certain ideas. It changes your perspective on certain ideas. Because of what you've experienced or because of what you believe, you may see an issue differently than someone else would. And that is bias. Okay. So applying this to history is a skill that we can then use to apply to our modern world today. So the better we get at analyzing this skill with historical examples, the better we are at analyzing bias in the world today. So last week, we learned about important events of the labor movement, like the Pullman strike and the Haymarket riot. These events were covered in the media that was most popular at the time, and that was newspapers. Okay? And so how were these events covered, though? As we learned, some people controlled the economy at the time, and these people were not the workers. So there was bias in the apparent in the way the articles were written. If the industrialists and the workers are at odds over the labor movement, if they are going against each other in the labor movement, then there will be bias in how the industrialist-controlled newspapers cover the labor movement. So today in class, we are going to look at some newspaper sources that covered the events of the labor movement. And we are going to see if we can identify bias in those sources. Let's take a look at the activity. Okay. You've already completed the warm-up here. And then for the Pullman strike, we have some analysis questions. And in order to answer those analysis questions, you need to read these newspaper articles and sections of newspaper articles written on the Pullman strike. Okay. Then we have analysis questions for the Haymarket riot. Okay. And in order to answer these questions, you need to read this information on the Haymarket riot right here. See how much of that you can get done in class today. See how much of it you may need to work on. Whatever you don't finish today in class, we'll work on in class tomorrow. So thank you guys for being here. Thank you for working on this. And I look forward to seeing you all tomorrow. Have a good one, gentlemen.